In this video, traders, we're going to look at the 4 pillars of patience as a trader. Stay tuned. Hey traders and investors, a very warm welcome to you. If you are subscribers to the channel, appreciate your support. If you're brand new, then welcome here. We're all about becoming better traders. All right, so patience, very, very, very important as a trader. And it fits in with, I think, 4 pillars of trading success, or 4 parts of trading that attribute to good trading success. Let's look at them and let's see how patience fits in and why it's so important to be a patient trader. Okay, number 1 and number 2, very similar, but there are some distinct differences. I want to cover them together. Number 1 is waiting for your entry, and number 2 is fishing for a winner. Let me explain what I mean by these. So number 1, or number 2, should I say, fishing for a winner. Let's start there. We have an ocean of trading opportunities for us. Just like if we're in the sea, there are thousands and millions of fish in the sea, and we only need a couple to keep us going. Yeah, we only need a few trades, good trades, to make us a good trader and to get to where we need to be. If we can adjust the position size to suit, we're all good. So the important thing is we don't chase after every little thing. We're patient enough to wait for the right setup, the right strategy, the right chart pattern, the right fundamental criteria, however you decide to trade, to appear. There are plentiful opportunities. We do not need to be taking every single one and chasing after every single type of trade. We have our criteria, we have our rules, we wait, we're patient, bang, we get a little trigger that says, yeah, this is right. Now we get involved in it. But wait, this is the second part, or number 1, the first pillar. Probably this should be other way around, but you're going to see the point in a second. Waiting for your entry. We now have identified a trading opportunity. We've been patient enough to wait. It's come across the screen. We've decided we want to take it. Now we need to wait for the entry opportunity. Too many traders, and I put myself in this bracket, I've done it myself many times before, guys, have pulled the trigger too early. We know the level we want to come. The market starts to come down. I might not get there. I'm going to jump the gun. And of course, it just adjusts and ruins the whole risk reward of a trade. Or we chase it without waiting for a pullback, and then it pulls back, and now we're getting stopped out because it's pulled back too far. In reality, if we'd been patient enough for it to extend and pull back, we'd have had a beautiful trade entry. You know, we can undo so much hard work by not having the patience that we should have to pull the trade trigger when the time is right, as opposed to just jumping the gun. So these two things are very, very similar, but very similar, but still with a distinct difference. Waiting for the actual trade opportunity to come, and then in that trade opportunity, waiting to pull the trigger. Okay, so now we're in the trade. 2 pillars of getting us in the trade. How about when we are in it and we want to come out of it? Okay, 2 more pillars. Number 3, number 4. Number 3, giving the trade time to mature. Number 4, knowing when to sell. Again, similar but distinct differences. Let me explain. Giving the trade time to mature. We're in the trade, and by the way, guys, this one here is my biggest nemesis. This is the one that I need to work on regularly. I need to make sure that I'm holding the trade, letting it mature, letting it run as long as it should be. Now, I recognize it's a fine line. I see the struggle myself. It's a fine line between, hey, I want to hold it for as long as possible, and holding it for what the market wants to give you. And that's always going to be a challenge for traders regardless. One day you hold it, so I'm going to hold this, only goes a little bit of your way and turns back. You think, well, I'm going to take it next time. You take it, it goes. That's the game we're playing. However, if we're talking swing trading, if we're talking day trading, if we're talking investing, giving the trade time to mature. There's a reason you went into that trade. Let's say you bought that pullback. The reason is you thought that pullback is the first pullback and it's going to carry on trending. So if it starts to keep going, stay in the trade. Have the patience to allow the trade to prove you right, to mature into the trade that you've analyzed it. Many people analyze the trade, say, hey, this is a great trade, I'm going to take this trade, all very well, and as soon as they see profit, they snatch it. That is not conducive to long-term success. If you are in a trade, you've analyzed and you've said, you know what, I think this is going to be a 4-month winner, 4-day winner, 4-hour winner, whatever, take it, let it mature. Too often we see a little bit of profit and we grab it. Now, don't get that confused with, say, I think it's going to literally have one last push and I'm going to scalp it for a shelf to the highs or whatever. That's fine. That's what you're going for. You can quite happily grab that. But that's not really where the real kind of account boosting stuff is. The account boosting stuff is in the ones that push and push and push. And to allow us to have those account boosting kind of outliers, if you like, we need to have the patience to let the trade mature. Okay, number 4. Knowing when to sell. So pretty similar as we've got here, waiting for your entry, knowing when to pull the trigger to sell. Now this is kind of getting the trade in the cruise, right? It's getting it going, the trend's going, it's going in your direction, all very well and good. But now we've got an area where we want to sell. We're going to pull the trigger if we pull back X% to come out of the trade, or if we spike above this level. And so as we do with our entry, we need to wait exactly for the criteria. And that might mean watching, waiting. I need to do this, and it doesn't do it, we wait for the next day. Doesn't do it, we wait for the next day. Or you've got a limit to sell in. Okay, you've got the mature trade, you've got the kind of meat, it's a nice trade, your limit goes in, you don't meddle with the limit. Or let me add this for you guys, because you may want to meddle with the limit, but do not do it on the fly. It should be part of your strategy. What do I mean by that? Let's say you've got a limit of 100. Okay, part of your rules may say if after 3 days that order is not filled, I can then amend it. That's different to just adjusting it because you think on the fly, you think, oh, I'm frustrated it's not been filled. That's different because it's part of your strategy. You've calculated that in the cool, calm light of day when the market was not operating, you weren't in the trade. That's fine. That's a strategy that you're following. That isn't necessarily not having patience, it's following the strategy. What I mean is when you've got a limit in, it's not being filled, then you get so impatient that you just come down and you take the market because you want to get out of the trade. And in reality, that's not really what you meant to do. And if you had the patience muscle, if you had that ability to hold it, then you probably would have got your order. And if you hadn't, at least you have a strategy that allows you to adjust it. So those are the 4 pillars, guys. Waiting for your good entry. Once you've fished for the right trade, you've seen it, you've identified it, waiting for the right entry, then letting the trade mature. Very big on this. Very often many traders don't do this, and it is a tricky one, I get it. And then knowing when to sell. So when it's coming to your selling level, having the patience to squeeze that last bit of juice out of it, wait for exactly what you said you were going to wait for. Okay guys, 4 pillars of patience. If you've got a 5th pillar, stick it in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. Appreciate your support. Take care, good trading. See you on the next one. Bye bye.